Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have another Power Rangers review for you today. This is Wave 3 in the Legacy Collection of the In-Space Rangers Blue, Pink, and Black. Wave 3 also consists of Mighty Morphin White Ranger and Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger, but I've only been able to find the Yellow Ranger so far. I haven't been able to find the White Ranger. I went to 4 different GameStops yesterday, and I found 4 out of the 5. I guess Tommy's just super popular. But in any case, I figured I would do the 3 In-Space Rangers together, and then when I find Tommy, I'll do yellow and white together. So here they are. You get blue, black, and pink, and I think they look pretty fantastic. Really excited to complete this team and also complete this Megazord, because as of right now, I just have the torso and one leg from red and yellow that came out in the last wave. So as you can see, this is the full wave down here on the bottom. So I have yellow, but I have not been able to find white yet. What are you going to do? He'll turn up. But scalpers are grabbing him and selling him on eBay for inflated prices, or so I hear, so that's a bummer. But in any case, here you go. Here's the Black Ranger. Now they all come with a holster, a gun, and a Megazord part. They do not come with any individualized weapons, but that's kind of to be expected at this point. We know what we're in for. So, no sense complaining about it. But let's go ahead, get these guys out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look. So here we have the 3 Rangers out of the packaging. I just kind of set them up in a little Charlie's Angels pose. Thought it would be fun. If you don't know what Charlie's Angels is, if you're too young, Google it. In any case, the 2 male Rangers have pretty much all the same articulation that the previous male Ranger figures have had, and the same goes for the female figure. But let me just first say that they all look fantastic. I really do love the look of them. Some of the joints are a little bit looser than I'd like, but nothing ridiculous. Some of the head joints are a little loose with the up and down hinge, mostly on pink, and I'll show when I get there in a second. But so you have an up and down hinge in the neck, as well as a swivel side to side. You have up and down, and as well as all around in the shoulder. You have a bicep swivel. You have 2 joints in the elbow, so you can really bend that up. You have a boot. A glove swivel where the white meets the black, and then you have like figure art joints for the wrist where it's kind of a up and down swivel as well as rotate around, and then there's a ball joint where the hand connects to that. Then you have an ab crunch, you have a waist swivel, you have an out to the side and front to back in the hip, you have a thigh swivel, 2 joints in the knee, very similar to the elbow. Then you have the boot swivel, and then you have an ankle that goes up and down, as well as a little bit out to the side, so you can get some cool poses there. Only accessories they come with is the holster for the gun, and then you have the gun itself, which is very beautifully detailed, I have to say. Very nicely painted. You have some gold, red, silver, black. Both sides of the gun are detailed, so that's very nice. You have the logo here for the belt buckle, which I know is an M for Mega Ranger, because that's the Sentai they're based from, but it always looked like little envelopes to me when I was a kid. I always thought it looked like the back of an envelope. But you can see you have the 5 colors here on the chest. As you can see, mine wobbles a little bit. That's kind of what I'm talking about. It's not bad. It's not like he's going to fall apart. Just a little loose and wobbly. Nice paint here on the back. You have the yellow, which works a little bit better depending on what color they're trying to paint on top of. Like you can see, it's a little bit more gold on pink. It's kind of yellow on black and blue, but it's because they're darker colors they're trying to paint on. So, you know, it is the best they could do. But I definitely like the look of the figures, and I definitely think that they look really good. Now, one thing, my black had a little bit of paint, like, hanging on the bottom of his helmet. It kind of looked like he had a little scraggly beard, but I just kind of shaved it off really, really lightly with, like, a little X-Acto knife or a box cutter. Just be careful with stuff like that, but it looks much better now. I feel like you can't really see that at all. So I'm going to try to stand him up. There we go. And then we'll take a closer look at pink here. As you can see, is the female mold, so it's very similar to In-Space Yellow. Pretty similar to the boys in most respects as far as joints, except that they only have 1 elbow joint instead of 2. They still have 2 knee joints. They still have all the same boot and ankle swivels. The legs, the hips are definitely hindered by the skirts. You really can't go front to back or side to side as much, but they still have all the same articulation. It's under there. You can move all around. If there was no skirt, it could go around. You still have the thigh swivel. You still have the ab crunch, although the ab crunch for the girls is really just a ball joint. So as you can see, it goes all the way around. And then you have the waist swivel. Otherwise, it's the same. It's really only the hindrance of the skirt and the one elbow joint. Otherwise, same articulation as the male figures. Again, beautifully painted and detailed accessory here. Now you can see her joint is loose, especially when you start going back. I don't know what it is, but she can kind of headbang. Although it's kind of doing better now, so I don't know what that's about. But same head swivel side to side, just this joint is a little loose. But it's not a big deal. I mean, it'll stay. As you can see, it's not like she completely droops her head or anything, so not that big a deal. Same detailing and everything. You have the 5 colors on the stripe on the chest. You have the gold symbol for the belt buckle. But yeah, pretty good. Nice figure there. And then, of course, blue is very much similar to black, just painted blue. Everything is pretty much the same. The other thing is that you can tell their helmets are different, because that was one thing that I always thought was cool with this Sentai. They had different designs where the helmet's on the side. And I think she has just a circle. Yeah. So very cool. Like I said, the figures look fantastic. I have no complaints about how they look. I don't really have any complaints about them in general. Like I said, just some of the joints are a little loose. But again, that could just be mine. It could just be production. You know, some are better than others. But overall, they look great. The joints and the amount of articulation is definitely nice and appreciated. They stand fairly well once you can get them in a good pose. So definitely great figures. If you're a fan of In Space, definitely go ahead and pick these up. I'm going to bring yellow and red in from the previous wave and see if I can get like a cool group shot going. Let me see. Oh no, I've knocked one over. Oh, I'm knocking everyone over. I'm terrible at this. I really am no good at posing figures. But I'm going to do this in real time so you can all laugh at me as I try to do it. Oh god, now I've broken the hip. This is terrible. I've broken the gun holster off of yellow. And I don't really mean broken. It pops right back on. But I knocked it off, and that's no good. Any chance you want to stand, Ashley, without knocking Andros over? She's kind of bow-legged because of how they put her in the packaging. That kind of hasn't undone itself. But there we go. We got the 5 In Space Rangers. That looks good. I like that. I like having a complete team. Sure, I'd love silver, but I don't know if they're ever going to do that or not. But at least right now, these 5 Rangers look great together. But the fun does not stop there. This guy, for many, many months, has been hoping he could do more than just hop around. And we can finally accommodate him. So, going to, I guess, just pop this under here. This is going to be difficult because I'm no good at this. There we go. Oh, much easier than I thought. He has 2 legs. He can now completely stand. Articulation on the leg is the same as the previous leg. You have a ball joint in the knee, then you have a ball joint in the ankle, but it's kind of limited because of, you know, the walls and everything on the feet. The plastic just runs into other plastic, but you have 2 legs. Let's give this guy some arms. What do you say? I better make sure I'm doing this right. Now, this is kind of a weird way to do this. There we go. You kind of have to push it in and then pop it up. There we go. So now we have the full In Space Megazord action figure. And I have to say, I like it. I like it a lot. They did a really nice job with the detail. Articulation-wise, the head can move from side to side. You have a waist swivel. You have all the way around articulation in the shoulder, but out to the side, you have a little bit. It's definitely hindered by the shoulder pad, but it's a decent amount. You have really nice tight ratchet in the elbows. I hope you guys can hear that. It's really tight. And then you have a swivel here in the wrist. So, again, would be awesome if it came with a sword or something, but, I mean, given the accessories that the Rangers come with, it's not really to be expected. But you're left with a really nice looking action figure. I like it a lot. Not a ton of detail on the back, but again, you don't really need it. I mean, at most, they might have painted some white here on the back of the spaceship piece that hangs down. Otherwise, I don't really think anything's needed. I think it looks good the way it is. I really like the look of this. I think it's a great figure. So I think overall these are 3 great figures. Like I said, some of the joints, not all, but some of the joints on mine are a little looser than I'd like. But again, that's probably not going to be across all of these. It's just when you pop out figures, sometimes, you know, you run into loose joints and things. It's just the cost of producing large quantities of figures. So yours might be completely, you know, nice, tight joints all the way around, and I hope it is. Like I said, it's still nothing that I would say is a problem. It doesn't ruin the figure for me. It's just a slight nitpick. They all look great. I love the look of all 3 of these figures. The Build-A-Fig Megazord pieces that they come with are great and finally completes the Astro Megazord, so that's really nice to have. And I think that's a great looking figure on its own. So I definitely recommend picking these up, especially if you already have red and yellow from the previous wave. It's great to complete a team here. Yes, we don't have silver, but you know, maybe one day down the line they'll do like a wave of all 6 Rangers or something to complete these teams that we have. But it's still nice to have the core 5-person team with the core Megazord, and I think they look great. I don't really have too much to complain about. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Love to hear your opinions. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at In Space Black Ranger, In Space Pink Ranger, and In Space Blue Ranger. Great figures, definitely go pick them up. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and as always guys, thank you so much for watching.